Yeah. Let's go. We just gotta go hard. I go the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Yeah. Oh yeah, the beast back. Adrenaline pumping through my veins, can't relax. Original, I am not the same as these cats. I sting them if they never ever mindin' they beeswax. I don't ever cap, but I'm wearing like 3 hats. Never been a rat, but I know where the cheese at. You'll never get a trophy cause they all here where we at. You better believe that. When it's all said and done, I'll still be here standing. Never took a loss and it ain't something that I'm planning. I dare you to say something, my focus is A1. Every dog has its day, it's been mine since day one. This is real grinding, I'm still climbing. While you still trying, I'm still shining. It's real blinding, and I'm getting hotter too. Talking top 2, I'm not a 2. You let the pressure bother you and I do what I gotta do. Let's go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard.
They ain't coming close to me. Flow is on atomic, I'm starting fires through poetry. The hardest out, staying loyal, no falling out. And if you step into the court, be ready, we ballin' out. Yeah, the coldest of teens, they know what we bring, don't try us. They know in between, we go for these dreams in silence. Hard work, don't mistake it for magic. We been shooting in the gym, this is target and practice. Yeah. And I'm just getting started, getting feet wet. It's all in repetition, ain't a secret. All facts, all black dress code. Pay me my respect, collecting every debt.
I go the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard.
Hey everyone. Nice to see you guys. Hey everyone. How are you guys doing? Okay, you guys can see me now? Good, good, good. So welcome you guys. I am so sorry for the lateness, but you guys know, don't charge it to my heart. You guys know I was working so hard to get this to you guys. So you guys know we are here to sell New Look 6653. I gave you some other patterns that you could use. You can use Simplicity 9894 if you do not have the pattern that I am using today, which is New Look 6653. So just to give you a little bit about the pattern, it is a super easy, simple pattern. I know on the envelope it says it's an average to sew pattern, but maybe because it has a zipper. But I'm gonna walk you through those steps as well. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go back and forth between the sewing machine and the sewing table. I have both cameras set up on both ways. So when I'm at the sewing machine, I will make sure I switch it to the sewing machine. When I'm at the sewing table, I will make sure to switch the camera to the sewing table as well. So if you have any questions, I'll be looking at the chat as well. So I will be engaging with you guys as well. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get over to the sewing table, and I'm going to talk about the notions that you need, the pattern pieces, all of that good stuff. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so we are going to be working on New Look 6653. We are doing view A on this one. So the only thing that you really need in terms of the notions is an 18-inch zipper. So, I mean, like, it is super easy to sew in my opinion, but some of the fabric options that you will need is cotton blends, crepe, you can use double Georgette, you could use shank tongue. Now, if you looked at the thumbnails, you will see that I did like 3 ladies in satin and then 3 in kind of like one in Ankara, 1 in a brocade, 1 in a satin type attire. So you could pretty much use any type of notion that you would like for this quick slip dress. So you guys know that this dress is actually part of my hashtag Make 9 2024. It's also part of a wardrobe that I'm currently doing for February into March. With this cold weather, we will see. All right. But let's talk about the pattern pieces that you will need. You will need 5 pattern pieces, 1 through 5, your front, your front facing, your back facing, and your shoulder strap. Now, I have done all of my adjustments that I will need for my pattern. So let's go ahead and talk about the pattern pieces and what you should have cut out. So first one is pattern piece number 1, the front. You need to cut 1 on the fold of the fabric. Make sure you transfer all of your dots, your notches, your dart. There's a lot of darts. So, hey, we're going to be going to Dartville on this one for sure. So you're going to need to do that. Pattern piece number 2 is the back. I'm hoping it's not getting stuck. All right. Pattern piece number 2 is the back. There is a fishtail dart. So make sure you transfer that. Make sure you transfer all your dots and your notches as well. And I'll show you how to do that as well for the dart. Pattern piece number 3. Oh, and pattern piece number 2 is cut 2 because there's a center back zipper. Pattern piece number 3 is the front facing. You need to cut 1 on the fold of the fabric there. And what I did was I just used some scratch fabric from my stash. So it's pink. All right. Well, February is pink month. Why not? All right, pattern piece number 4 is your back facing. You need to cut 2 of fabric and make sure you transfer those darts as well. And then the last pattern piece, I did make a pattern adjustment, and it's the shoulder strap. Simply because when I measure this, after taking 3/8 of an inch from the top and the bottom, it's only going to give me a 1 inch shoulder strap. Well, I like to wear a bra, right? So I added a 1/2 inch to the bottom and to the top. If you want to make that same adjustment, you could do so as well. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the sewing. Starting off, now I'm going to show you the pattern instructions. Let me get the pattern instructions for you guys real quick. Move everything out of the way. And in terms of the pattern instructions, it's going to have you do a lot of stay stitching and a lot of darts. So what I'm going to do to make it super easy and the process as easy as possible, I'm going to start off with my stay stitching. So I'm going to be stay stitching pattern piece number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now on pattern piece number 1 and pattern piece number 3, I'm going to start in the center, stay stitch to one side, flip it over, and then stay stitch to the other side. I'm going to do the same thing on pattern piece number 3. Once I do all of that, then I'm going to come back to pattern piece number 2, and starting where my shoulder straps are, I'm going to start from the shoulder strap and go all the way to the center back on both pattern piece number 2 and pattern piece number 4. So let's go ahead to the sewing machine so I could go ahead and show you guys how I'm going to do the stay stitching, and then we could also chat as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm grabbing pattern piece number 1 and pattern piece number 3 because it's done the same way. So I'm going to grab both of these and go over to the sewing machine. Now pattern piece number 1 I have already done off camera. I have already done this. So I'm going to do pattern piece number 3, and I have already marked the wrong side of my fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and do pattern piece number 3. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to open it up first. I'm going to start in the center, stay stitch to one side, flip it over, and then stay stitch to the other side. All right, so let's go ahead and do all of the stay stitching. If you're sewing along with me, if you're just here for some good conversation in chat, by all means, go ahead and drop it in the chat, and I will definitely be chatting in between time as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so I finally made it back over to the sewing machine. Hey, Alethea. Hey, Joyce. Hey, Mo. How are you guys doing today? You guys doing good? So Joyce, my weekend, honey, it was something. So yesterday I spent about 5 hours at the dealership buying a car yesterday. But that's a story for a whole nother day. Alethea, listen, I am so behind on your challenge, but I'm doing good with the stash busting challenge, but I'm going to be working on some whips. I'm going to be working on some dresses. I'm going to, hey. Joyce, you like spill the tea? Girl, I got a lot of tea to spill, but listen, that dealership is no joke. I try to stay out of dealerships buying a car, but I did buy a new car yesterday. My husband and I bought a new car. Fiona, well, thank you so much for coming, darling. All right, so I finished stay stitching pattern piece number 3. I have pattern piece number 2 on my hands, and I'm going to be stay stitching both pattern piece number 4 and pattern piece number 2. So I have pattern piece number 4 in my hand, 2 of these. That's that pink that you see, and I'm going to be stay stitching starting at the shoulders and then all the way to the center bag. So that's how I'm going to be stay stitching, just like it shows in the pattern instructions. And one thing I want to mention, you guys, like I sew standing up. I do not sew sitting down. So I know it's probably hard for you guys to probably get that one, but my entire project, even when I'm doing sew-alongs, I completely sew standing up the entire time. My husband always say that, you know, some go, I hope your legs don't give. I'm like, whatever, man. Been doing this for so long, so you know how that is. You get into a rhythm, you just keep it. Hey, Alethea, I'm with you on combining challenges. I'm there with you because this is part of your challenge, you know, for dresses. Even though it'll be posted by the end of the month for sure. But, you know, I'm doing this all because I love Chris. You know, you guys made sure that she reached that 150, so we go make sure that it's done. I was a little nervous about going live, but I was like, you know what? This is the year that I am definitely stepping outside of my box, you know, crushing some goals. Because you guys know I do a lot of sew-alongs, but I never do them live. So I think I might start doing that like every other week or something. Go live and show you guys what I'm working on, sewing, whatever, you know. I think always engagement, you know, so if there's something that I did a sew-along for, you could always mention it and I could try to, you know, add to it here as well. All right, so I'm stay stitching pattern piece number 2, which is the back. That's what we're working with. I don't think my sewing machine cords would reach with the I am so laughing at Fiona right now. I hear you. Look, I have like an entire brick for sewing machine. I have the iron set up over here behind me. Y'all, when I say that my husband and I, we spent like I want to say about 3 hours setting everything up, making sure that every seam that I wanted was set up in regards to right here at the sewing machine, over there at the table. Because, I mean, like, I see a lot of people do lives and they're at the sewing machine, but I can't pin darts and stuff at the sewing machine, you know? So I said, well, make sure everything is set up the way that I want it. And like I said, you guys have seen so many of my GoPro cameras and videos. I'll show you one that's not hooked up that I could do for the sewing machine, but I just moved the sewing machine from over there to over here. So, you know, I have like 4 GoPro cameras. Don't judge me, judge yourself, right? Yeah, so that was one of the cameras. I have 2 set up for today's event. Alethea, yes, baby. I see you stepping out as well. All right, so now that I have the stay stitching done, now we're going to go ahead and do the darts. However, I'm going to pin all of my darts for everything. So I have done one for the front. I'm going to do the front darts, the back darts, and then the facing darts. So I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to pin all of them, and then I'm going to come to the sewing machine and sew them. All right, so let me go over to the sewing table so I could definitely show you guys how I'm going to pin those. All right, so let's go ahead and go over to the sewing table. All right, so y'all know I don't like nothing dirty, so I'm gonna clean up all of these pattern pieces. Y'all know how Rochelle get down. She gotta have something clean, 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 clean. All right, so I have all of my pattern pieces right here. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead. Hey, Gaynell. I'm gonna start with pattern piece number 1. I know you guys saying like, yo, Rochelle, how are you keeping up with all of these pattern pieces? Listen, I'm gonna move them so I can show you. This is pattern piece number 1 because it's cut on the fold. And I did one dart off camera, this one right here. I'm going to go ahead and pin the dart in place as well. Alethea, listen. Having children, man, they know how mommy be getting down. I'd be like, pick this up, pick that up, pick this up, pick that up. I can't do it, y'all. I be trying, though. You know, I think I get on all of my siblings' nerves when I come visit. They be like, you know how Rochelle is. She a clean freak. Now, let me ask you guys this. For those of you guys that have children, do you guys let them eat in your car? Okay, Joyce, I hear you, girl. I hear you. There's no way I'm finna let my kids eat in the car. Listen, even on road trips, when we take road trips, I don't even let them eat. I'd be like, I'll pull over so y'all can eat. My siblings be laughing at me. They be like, you don't want to go with Rochelle nowhere because she gonna make sure you starve. I'm like, whatever. I'm not gonna make sure nobody starve. I'll feed you, but we're not eating in no car. I'm sorry. That's too much work to keep clean. All right, so I pinned this dart, which is pattern piece number 1, which is the front. I'm gonna move that out the way, grab both of my pattern piece number 2 and pin out. Well, before I do number 2, I'm gonna do the other darts first because that is the fishtail dart. So I wanna make sure that I get all the other darts done first. Now this is pattern piece number 4 because it's not cut on the fold. I'm gonna do the darts for pattern piece number 3 now. So that's what I'm working on, the darts there. And one thing I will mention is, I know you guys looking in the instructions and it's probably telling you right now to do the dart for pattern piece number 1 and then do the zipper. You'll be running back and forth to the sewing machine. So I like to do as many steps as possible. Like I have said in many tutorials, that I end up reading the instructions several times before getting started, number 1. So that's why I know to cut down on time for the sake of time, to do many steps all at once. Like all of these darts, like I said, this is a lot of darts. So I'm gonna sew all the darts and get it done and over with, because I feel like for this dress, the tedious part of this entire dress are the darts. Like for real, for real. The zipper would be easy to do, you know, if you have done invisible zippers. You can do a lap zipper for this one, but I choose not to. I'm a girl who loves invisible zippers, but I do lap zippers from time to time, not a lot, but I mean, I use them from time to time, not too much though. Mo, your boys are extra messy. Well, I'm right there with you because I have a son and he's hella messy, okay? I'm constantly telling that boy, clean up behind himself. So pattern piece number 3 is completely done. That one is ready for the sewing machine. So now what I'm gonna do, move that out of the way, grab pattern piece number 4, go ahead and do those darts as well. Fiona. So it's two things. So I think it's because when you have a new car, you want to keep it as clean as possible. I actually get on my husband's nerve with being clean because I'm one of those that when I'm in a mood to clean, get out of my way, let me do it and keep it moving. And everyone in my house, they all have like different areas in the house that they have to keep clean. My son is pretty much kind of like his room trash, you know, the situations that boys do, right? My husband is just pretty much like, for my husband, he's all any and everything outdoors, you know, for the most part. And then indoors, pretty much just unloading the dishwasher, basically. And bathrooms, yeah, I can't stand cleaning no bathroom, but, you know, we all have our own situations that we do. All right, so this is pattern piece number 2. And this one is a little different because what I'm gonna do is start in the center. I'm hoping you guys can see this. Let me bring it up a little bit to the camera. But I'm gonna start in the center, pin out this dart all the way to the bottom, and then I'm gonna turn it over and start right back at that center and pin to the other side. So that's what I'm gonna do for pattern piece number 2. So what I'm gonna do is just start right here in the center. And make sure when you're doing your darts that you are making sure that on both sides your darts are lined up as much as possible. And I'm gonna look, make sure that it lines up. So what was you guys' highlight for the weekend? Since I kind of shared that I bought a car yesterday. And went riding before the live. Well, I didn't really go riding. I had to go back to the dealership before I came to the live. Yeah, to get key fobs and all that good stuff. I know you guys want me to share, like, what did you buy? Spill the tea. I bought a car. That's what I bought. I bought a car. All right, so this one is getting kind of hard. Okay, so I have pattern piece number 2, that pattern piece number 2 pin. Do the last one. Ooh, Joyce, listen. Now, you know Miss Alethea is in here, and she's like, Rochelle, you know you part of the challenge. How you holding up with that challenge? Listen, Alethea, I am doing absolutely fabulous with the challenge of the no-buy patterns, no-buy fabric. And I'm going to tell you what's been helping me outside of Carmen. She's been helping, you know, because Rochelle been trying not to post any sales either. No, I'm just joking, you guys. But literally, Joann's haven't been having any sales lately, so that's been helping too. So, but to be honest, the only thing that I really need to buy are solid fabrics. I don't need anything else. But I mean, this was the perfect month to actually do a no buy, because if y'all look at my Christmas shopping expense, like, I don't even want to say how much we spent. I'll put it like this: we spent more than $1,000 on children's Christmas gift. Like we were close to that 3. So I was like, perfect challenge for me, no buy, because I was already talking about I'm not buying these kids nothing. Because these kids of mine they spoil. But I mean, I have always said that I want to give them the life that I did not have growing up. Because I know a lot of you guys already know that I'm from San Francisco, California, and if you know, you know. Everything is expensive, and with a family, my mother had 8 children, so, and I'm not the oldest, I'm the 3rd oldest, but still, there was no such thing as eating out. What is that? We don't eat out. We eat in, and, you had Big Mama's house, everybody and their mama come over, bring, it wasn't bring your own booze, it was more like bring your own food, So that's what we had growing up, but I enjoy every bit of it. I mean, I loved being with Big Mama, All right, so pattern piece number 2 is completely done. Now I'm gonna go to the sewing machine, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna share with you guys. What I'm gonna do is start in the center and sew all the way off. Now with darts, I only backstitch at the beginning, and then I tie them off at the end on both sides. So I'm gonna start in the center of the fishtail darts, right? Start in the center, backstitch, come all the way to the end, tie it off. Flip it over, start at the center, come all the way to the end, tie it off on both sides. So I'm going to do that for all of the fishtail darts, which is pattern piece number 2. Pattern piece number 3, same thing, starting at the widest part of the dart, backstitch there, then sew all the way to the end and tie it off. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of my darts now, and we are going to talk while I'm sewing those together. So let's go ahead and get over to the sewing table. Y'all, this cold weather is literally getting on my nerves, for real, for real. So, all right, so I'm gonna start. Now, you guys, I don't know if you guys, you guys can see my iron, but I wanna say, like, I got that iron free of charge, thanks to my girls at South Florida Frocktail. I won it at the South Florida Frocktail. The Mimi G Oliso iron, it's super good. Like, I haven't really done a review on it because I'm still using it. Might as well say I'm not really testing it out, but I'm testing it out. Not really, but you get my drift. But anyway, I love it. So if you don't have the Mimi G Oliso iron, I will highly advise you to get it. I know some of you, it could be the price tag. I'm not gonna even lie. But it was on my list to get for my birthday. And South Florida Frocktail was in June of last year. And literally, I was so happy because I called it. I put all of my tickets in one bag and won it. So, because that's what I told my husband I wanted for my birthday, but it just came a lot sooner than later, so. Okay, so Joyce, listen, so during the holidays, they were all talking about how, people was going in stores getting the gift cards. So I told everyone not to get me a gift card at all. Because I was so scared that, my kids give me $100 gift card to Joann's. Then, I try to go use it and it's nothing on that card. And then it seemed like a lot of the stores wouldn't do nothing. So I was just like, whatever. Hey, Aisha. All right, so now that I have pattern piece number 1 done, what I'm going to do is go ahead and press down now make sure you press it down towards the dress, your dart. So I'll do that in just a second because I want to do all of those at the same time. I'm going to go ahead and work on the darts for pattern piece number 3 and 4 before I do pattern piece number 2. So I'm going to finish making these darts, but let me grab one of my pen holders. I normally have one at the sewing machine anyway. Hi, Rebecca. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in because y'all in for a good talk and sew today. Okay, Rebecca from Miami. Fiona, that autocorrect be hitting differently for real, for real. Especially when you like hard at typing or hurry up. So I'm one of those who love talk to text and then I fix my correction afterwards. Reason being is because that autocorrect be playing with me a lot of the times. So the collection that I'm working on right now, now listen, you guys. So if you looked at that Make 9 2024, I'm actually doing 24 squares. So I came up with a red, a yellow, and a blue collection for my Make 24 by 24. And the reason why is because after looking and assessing my wardrobe, right, what I need, I have a lot of blue to be, well, not necessarily a lot of blue, but blue things that I have made, but it's like 6 items, and I wanted more blue because blue is my favorite color. Shout out to Aisha. We know that that's your favorite color too, girl. But but I love blue. Blue is the business, okay? And I need more like blue pants. I want some tills. I want all of that in my wardrobe. So I was like, well, you know what? Let me do like I need more reds for sure. Because I think I have like 2 things. Outside of dresses, I only have 1 red top. Like, 1 red top? Come on now. Rochelle, you need to do better. But I have lots of skirts, lots of dresses. So I need to really work on pants. Y'all know I love a really good blazer. Yes, blue game present for sure, Aisha. Like when I look at all of my fabrics, even in car, it's like super blue heavy. Didn't mean for it to be like that, but hey, it is what it is. I get what I like, right? All right, so outside, I'm doing the last dart for pattern piece number 3 right now. And then we're gonna do pattern piece number 2. For those of you who are participating in hashtag Make 9 2024, how is it going for you? Did you guys do your homework for this week? Thank you. Thank you, Fiona. I just took what you guys wanted. You guys want, when I showed that little fabric haul that I got from House of Mommy Watching, I think it was what, last week? You guys was like, yeah, use the purple. I was like, okay. It was going to be one of those fabrics that I showed because what I'm trying to do this year is definitely use the fabrics that I pick up and not have stash fabric. Simply because you guys have seen my stash, right? We don't need to talk about it. Plus, my husband's like, you running out of room. You taking pantries downstairs. Linen closets, I should say. Linen closet, bedroom closet, extra guest closet. I have fabric everywhere. But of course, it's organized, right? So, he's like, stop buying more fabric. So, I got to stop buying fabric and use what I got. All right, so I have pattern piece number 2. So I'm going to make the fishtail darts there in the back of this dress. It's coming together really, really easy so far. Thank you, Mo. I thought it would be cute. You guys said to use this one, so, you know. I'm going to say that y'all helped me out with picking the fabric for this live, too. All right, Aisha, that's what I'm talking about. Now, listen, a top is my first make, but because I'm doing this dress, that would be make number 2 anyway. So I will have the top done, hopefully by Friday, even though the homework for this week was basically just to cut out your pattern and to get your notion. So I have that. So I'm on board, on task with you guys as well. We gonna make sure no one is falling behind by Friday. I also did a little small reel for you guys on Instagram where I showed the task dates as well. Because I know I'm a visual person. So if you tell me kind of like in the stories, which erase every 24 hours, right? It may not stay there. So I wanted to give you something where you guys could see it, you know, in big form on the days that I'm going to come up and just pop up and be like, hey, task number 2 is this. Where are you at? With your so-called homework, right? I like how Carmen said she treating us like students. No, but if you forgot your board or you did not make the deadline, because when I counted, I think my daughter and I, we counted like 54 boards total. I do have like 4 or 5 more people who sent me their boards, but it was too late. I already created the reel by that time. So I'm going to add them to like the newcomer, not necessarily newcomer, but you know, like, I guess you could call it newcomer. I don't like to call them that because they ain't new. They OGs, right? But I'm going to add them to a reel just for newcomers there. And then I'm also planning on creating a reel with those who complete project number 1. So yeah, that's what I want to do. You guys are not just holding me accountable, but I'm holding you guys accountable for your projects as well. That's how we are going to win at Make 9 2024 this year. Anyone struggling with Make 9 2024, whether that's like if you did skills or categories, are you struggling at all with those things? Now for my Make 9, what I did was I used categories because one thing I did not want to do is box myself in to certain patterns. And the reason why is because when you do that, you know, new patterns come out every pattern season. So I know me, I will quickly change my mind and do a new pattern. And then that old pattern that I cut out becomes a whip. And what we try not to do is have any type of whips. I have like 4 whips right now that needs to be sewn up simply because of when I was sick in November. I didn't get to it and I don't do whips. So we got to whip those bad boys up pretty soon. And since Alethea's challenge is going on, I'm going to work on those whips by the end of the month. I might come on live and just work on whips for a few hours just to get them all done and talk and all that good stuff. Not have to worry about anything. And then, you know, like, listen, less of a video I have to do during the week. My embellished life, girl, you are not late. You are right on time. I like to say, listen, I hope my sister is not here, but she probably is. But I'm not talking about you, but I'm going to talk about you. But she's one of those who's every Sunday she late to church, right? And she always tell me, it's better to be late than not go at all. And I agree. It's called fashionably late. The only place I'm not going to be late to is work because that's what pays the bills, right? So we're not going to be late to work. Church, I mean, come on now. I don't want to be late all the time, but, you know, you know how it goes sometimes. You guys, if you guys are not following each other and you guys have YouTube channels, drop your channels in the chat so you're able to follow each other. That's the whole reason of connecting for Make 9 and all that good stuff. If you have done a Make 9 2024 video and I have not commented on it or you have not tag me so I'm able to see that and I can go in and comment. All right. All right. So now all the darts are done. I'm going to go ahead and press it down and then we're going to go to the table and do some more stuff. All right. So let me go ahead and press it down. Now I am using my little earnest station right here. So I hate to have my back towards you guys, but I'm going to actually use my seam roll as well. And we gonna go ahead and get this on. Now, at this point, half of this dress is pretty much done. Like I said, the tedious part of this entire dress is literally doing the darts. So that's why I said it's best to pretty much do the darts all at once. Because when you do that, it's just kind of like you're not doing step number 1, then go and run and do a dart. Then you come back to the table, do step number 2, then you run back and do a dart when you could just pin all of your darts at once and then just sew them all at once to get it on and, you know, on and over with. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I hate doing darts. Literally, I hate doing darts. I would prefer pleats over darts. If you are a dart person or a dart girl, put in the chat darts. If you're a pleat person, put in the chat pleats. I want to see who prefers one over the other. All right, now I did not read the instructions, but I'm going to say that the darts, let me look at these instructions. I'm going to say that on pattern piece number 2, the darts that goes in the back will probably need to be pressed towards the center back, but let me make sure. I did not read that part. It just says press the darts flat along the stitching to blend the stitches with the dart. No, it says press darts towards center. Okay, so I was right. And to be honest, that's what I would normally do, is just press the dart towards the center back. That's probably why I didn't read the instructions, because that's what I normally do. So it just confirmed that that's how you're going to press the darts towards the center back. So make sure in the back of your dress, you are pressing the darts towards the center back where the zipper is going to be. All right, so pattern piece number 2, my back is now pressed. Those darts are pressed. I'm going to press down pattern piece number 1, which are my darts, my bust darts as well. Okay. I know that. I will when I get over there. I know, because you're showing me. Y'all see, I'm telling you rudeness, right? All right, so I have the front of the dress, the dart is pressed down. Now I'm going to press pattern piece 3 and 4. Hey, LaShawn. Alethea, you got to catch up on homework. I hear that. But listen, Alethea, you could, for your make 9, you could definitely just do, I think what this upcoming week is pants, right? Dress, skirts. What is this week, Alethea? Drop it in the chat. You could actually, I can't remember what yours is, but all you got to do is cut the pattern and get your notions and you be good. Man, y'all are some darts people. I can't stand darts. I love pleats. LaShawn, Aisha, Neb, Joyce, my embellish. Y'all love darts, for real? Man. Y'all making me sound like I'm old. Rochelle, why you don't like darts? You like those dang pleats? Girl, I love me a pleat, for real. I can't stand these darts, but I do them because that's what makes your garment look better. All right, so on pattern piece number 3, I'm pressing down the darts, which is the, I think that this is actually the front facing. This is what it looks like. So we got that one pressed, and then for pattern piece number 4, I'm going to press this dart right here towards the center back this way. All right. Ooh. Alethea, do you know what pattern you're using for your denim pants? All right, so now that I have all of my darts done, woohoo! All right, so now I'm gonna bring the instructions to tell you all the steps that I have done. I'm gonna actually mark them out because you guys know I didn't play around with this entire pattern. So I have done pattern piece number 1, step number 1, the stay stitching. I have done the darts. I have done the stay stitching around pattern piece number 2. I have done the stay stitching on pattern piece number 3, which is step number 5. I have done the darts, which is step number 6, which is pattern piece number 3 right here. I have done the stay stitching for pattern piece number 4, and I have done the darts for pattern piece number 4. Now on the back, it wants you to do the zipper as well as the side seam. So the first thing I'm going to do is the zipper. Now normally, so grab pattern piece number 2. Normally I would take some interfacing and stabilize my center back, which is what I'm going to do. I got to find some fusible interfacing that's just like a scrap piece and do that. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to right sides together for my back, right? And I'm going to match up my notches. Pin there. And then I'm going to pin the bottom and the top all the way up. All right, let me clear off this desk a little bit. Alethea, I could tell you what your make 9 is. I could send that to you after the live. I had my little notebook in here, but I moved everything when I cleaned up my sewing room yesterday. So I could tell you what that is. Which one? You're currently working on. All right, so where I have that notch, I'm going to put 2 pins there instead of 1 so I can keep up where I need to stop with the zipper. And I'm just going to pin all the way up. Now, Aisha, is next week denim week for, or Alethea, you can answer too. Is it denim week next week for the challenge? All right, so now that I have pattern piece number 2 pinned all the way up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start at the hem, back stitch at the beginning, so all the way up to that notch, and then back stitch there. Break my threads, and then I'm going to base from that notch all the way up. But after I do that, I'm going to go to the serger and serge, because normally what I would do is serged my center back before stitching it, but I'm going to stitch it and then serge it. So let me do that now. All right, so I am sewing using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, regular length stitch, and I'm going to sew from the hem to that notch. All right, so now that I'm at the notch, I'm going to back stitch and then switch my machine to a basting stitch. And then I'm going to stitch. I don't need to back stitch again. I just need to sew all the way up using a basting stitch. All right, so now that I'm at the end, I'm not going to back stitch at the end. I'm just going to cut my thread. Now what I'm going to do, because normally I would already have this whole center back already serged. So I'm going to go ahead and serge the back on my serger. Now it's going to get loud. So what I'm going to do is mute my mic so you guys don't hear all of this. I'm going to, you know, save your ears. All right. So I'm going to mute just for a second to serge. All right, so now that I have the center back, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So I use purple serger thread only because I don't use a lot of purple. So why waste white when I don't need to, right? So I'm going to press my seams open, and then I actually think I have some, well, no, actually I'm going to cut a strip of interfacing at the table just to stabilize from the notch all the way up for my zipper. So that's what I'm going to do. So let me go ahead and press the seams open. Now I'm wondering, did chat freeze? Let me see if chat froze. All right, can you guys hear me now? Are y'all good? Mel B, no, it's not too late to join the challenge. Okay, good, Angela. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No, so I muted myself because my serger is super loud. And to save you guys any type of damage to your ears, I just wanted to be mindful of your ears because it's super loud. Hey, Deja. Welcome, girl. And like I was saying, Mel B, no, it's not too late to join the challenge. If you want to join the Make 9 2024 challenge, you will be, you could go ahead and do your board now, and I will add you as a newcomer for the open enrollment for February. So the last day, when I say absolute last day for Make 9, 2024 is February 18th, but you have to have your first garment completed because everyone else will have theirs pretty much completed. And to not leave anyone behind, that would be the best time for you to have your first project done and your board in. All right, so I pressed the center back. We're gonna go to the table. I'm gonna do my zipper and add some interfacing. So I'll meet you at the table. All right, y'all. This is what it's looking like so far. The darts is pressed in towards the center. The center back is done. So I have my zipper. And don't judge me, but it's gonna come together. So I'm gonna use this long blue zipper only because like I see some blue in here. So it has potentials. Like I don't think you're gonna be able to see it anyway. So it's extra long. This is what we're gonna do, but I need to get some interfacing and I'm gonna cut out some interfacing to stabilize my zipper. I always do that. So it's no secret to how I add interfacing to the as like little strips to the back of that. So I'm going to cut some strips of interfacing. I think the zipper needs to be 18 inches. So I'm going to cut my strip of interfacing about 18 inches as well. So I'm just going to do like a ½ inch or whatnot. Actually, I'm just going to cut a strip like this. I'm going to make it 2 inches all the way up. And then I'm going to cut it in half. And yes, I am a rotary cutter girl. I am not a scissors girl. And then I'm just going to press my interfacing on both sides of that zipper area. So I'm going to do that real quick and come back to the table. Thank you so much, Chris. You guys, like this fabric right here, when I seen this on House of Mami Wata, I was like, I gotta have that. Cause I mentioned I was like last year I was going to do a animal print collection, and I was like, this would be so good in some pants. Do y'all see this for some pants? And the reason why is because I was like, oh, it would be so good in a pair of pants, a dress, a top. And then I seen this picture of like an animal print dress, and it's a slip dress. And I was like, ooh. So because I just purchased this fabric and the goal is to use fabrics that I purchased, like, or use my stash, right? So I purchased this. This was like the last bit of fabric that I purchased last year. And I was like, nope. The hub said that I have to use my stash this year instead of actually purchasing fabric outside of solids. So you guys wanted this fabric, so that y'all got it. That's what we are here because this fabric is just gorgeous. So shout out to House of Mami Wata for this fabric. And I believe this fabric is still available in her shop as well. Thank you, Aletha. That blue zipper, I think, you know what? I think the blue is going to set it off, you know, because like I mentioned before, blue is my favorite color. So I have a purple zipper, but I just feel that because this fabric has a little bit of blue, more like a baby blue in it, it'll just work better with the blue, I think. We'll see. Alethea, really? Oh no. So when it comes to the rotary cutter, I think it was Mimi G that I saw use a rotary cutter. And I was like, okay, I don't have to use these dang scissors no more. I'm not, bet. So I started using a rotary cutter since then. And I want to say I've been using strictly rotary cutters outside of course, if I have to do something like cutting, let's just say interfacing or something like that. I would pretty much use scissors for different things, but cutting fabric and stuff, yeah, no. See, Aisha is with me on the blue. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm just cleaning up the interfacing. I'm going to switch it over to the sewing table. I'm just cleaning up the interfacing that I just put on before getting this zipper together. All right, so back to the table we go. And this is what it's looking like. This is the back. Now I'm going to go ahead and install my zipper. So I'm going to put it right here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the end of the zipper and I'm going to look and see where the basting stitch stopped, where I have the regular length stitch, and I'm going to basically make sure my zipper is about 1/2 inch past that. And then I'm going to pin. So I'm just going to turn it just like this so I can just pin one side, focus on one side, right? So we're going to focus on one side and I'm going to pin, making sure that my zipper is in the center. And I'm going to pin all the way up. Yes, this zipper is super long and I like to do a longer zipper to keep the zipper pull out of my way. That's just how I do it. I know some people probably don't install their zippers this way. They do it the opposite direction, well, opposite way, which is best for them. But this is what kind of like worked for me. If you do it this way, drop a smiley face in the chat. Hey, Risha. Mel says she loves the scissors. All right, so I have this side done. What I'm going to do is go to the sewing machine and I'm going to base my zipper in place on both sides. So I'm going to back stitch, so all the way up, and then do the other side the same way. So let's go over to the sewing machine so we can do that. All right, so I'm going to switch to my zipper foot. You can do this with a regular foot, your standard foot on your on your sewing machine. But I'm going to switch to my zipper foot because for me, I just feel like it works better. So I'm going to be, yes, Aisha, I am doing an invisible zipper instead of a lap zipper or exposed zipper because I feel like I want this to be like super hidden zipper, and That's what I had in my stash. We go use everything in the stash first before going out buying some more zippers. Plus, I get my zippers in like a bulk from Waywack, and I just get random colors, to be honest. I don't try to get like 50 cents or something like that for a zipper. I don't have time for that because that shipping is like $7.99 unless you spend $99. It's literally hard to spend $99 unless you're out. I'm out of a few colors, so it is time for me to re-up. But if you have never used Waywack, I highly advise you to do that and do things in bulk as well. I know Raven from Raven Marine, she did a whole video where she talked about like buying in bulk. So definitely check out Raven's video where she talked about how she buys like elastic, zippers. I forgot what else it was that she buys in bulk. So I would definitely highly advise you to check that video out because I buy a lot of elastic and stuff in bulk. When I buy from Joann's, like their interfacing, I buy that in bulk instead of like 4 or 5 yards at a time. Because I mean, like, who don't go through interfacing? Like, I do. I sew a lot, so I go through a lot of interfacing as well. Hey, Talisha. All right, so I am done basting on the zipper. So what I'm gonna do is go to the table, open up the back of that zipper, and then finish the zipper portion off, and then we'll get to sewing our sides. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and open up, but first I gotta get my seam ripper. And I'm going to open up that seam in the back. So first you need to look and see where that basting stitch ends, which is right about here. So I'm going to open that zipper area up. Now, if you go do it with the seam ripper like I'm doing, I'm gonna say be careful. Because you can't easily rip your seams as well. And you don't want to be ripping no fabric that you didn't paid all that money for. So I'm just gonna do this part extremely slow. I know you're like, oh, Rochelle, please don't rip that fabric. Listen, I'm going extra slow and being extra careful, okay? Because I will be hecka mad if I rip this fabric. But it's ripping those seams like butter, all right? All right, and just like that, the girl is on fire right now. Oh, let me ask you guys this. So you guys know that Butterick dropped Friday. What are you guys' thoughts on that new drop for Butterick? Did you see any that you like? Aisha, you said I'm fancy with the switch. Listen, okay, so you know, I don't say everything, but my husband works in IT, right? So I had him in here, Aisha, I had him in here like 4 hours yesterday, helping me set everything up for this live. Because I said, if I'm going to do live, I need to do it right. I need to do it like you do it when you on Twitch and this and that, right? So he showed me and told me, like, I took a whole 4-hour course on OBS yesterday. I got to give it up to LaShawn, Carmen, Aisha, y'all. I mean, y'all, y'all all be up on live all the time on OBS, StreamYard. I have never tested out StreamYard. I know for what I'm using is Streamlab. for how I'm switching the cameras and everything back and forth. And it's simply because, like, I do a lot of stuff at the table, like with sew-alongs and stuff like that. So it's just easier for me to kind of like go back and forth because you can't see me. Even though I have 2 cameras hooked up, you wouldn't be able to see what I'm doing on the table. So I figured, you know, let's do the 2 cameras, 2 GoPro cameras that I'm using for this live. Talisha, listen, I think when it comes to the early spring, I think Simplicity has my coins for sure. I mean, I did see, I think it's going to be definitely 2 patterns for sure on the Nomi McCalls. I think I've seen like 2 or 3 patterns. I'm talking about, like, I have so many patterns that are similar. So I don't want to just continuously keep buying patterns. So I think I'm going to be holding on a lot of the patterns for sure. Even though the Butterick drop, I think, like, I could literally say I'm probably only going to buy 3 to 4. Because I have a lot of them that look similar. Oh, Alethea, go and check out Butterick. Kimberly says she only like one thing. But I will say a lot of the patterns on Butterick, like all of the vintage ones, looks the same. All right, so now that I have the zipper is looking flawless, y'all, and it's not even, it's just base stitch, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and sew close to the zipper teeth to secure that zipper in place. So let's go ahead and do that at the sewing machine now. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and secure this zipper in place. So I'm gonna switch from a basting stitch to a regular length stitch, and I'm gonna back stitch now. I'm gonna make sure I open up my zipper coils and sew the zipper all the way down, stopping at the end of that placement for your zipper. And for me, I tend to go like just a couple of stitches, let off the pedal, because you can easily sew on the zipper teeth and you don't want to do that. My embellished life. I'm gonna say this, like, no shade to Butterick. I actually like some of the Butterick patterns, but I like the ones that are basic and you could hack. Simply because, you know, I think when Design Group kind of rebranded, they are using like New Look McCalls as kind of like for the younger crowd. I want to say Simplicity is for kind of like, you know, your young crew, but also your middle age crew, you know, like that under 40, I would say. Butterick have always been known for over 40, like no shade to Butterick whatsoever. But in my opinion, Butterick have always been known for over 40. Now I'm 40, but I mean, there's some that I like, but Butterick have never gotten my first vote on patterns. But I will sew some that I like. But I will say that we need to make Butterick patterns look great. If you go sew one, make it look great. That's it. But my embellished life, I think that if you look, you'll be all right. You'll be fine. I think if anything, you'll probably find no more than 2 that you like on the Butterick. But then again, you may find more that you like. I know it was only like 3 or 4 that I saw that I actually liked. But I think like heart, I think I'm only gonna get 2. Hi, the best unit. Or uni, I think uni, my bad, uni. I cannot even read today, y'all. All right, so the zipper is now in. The next step is we're going to go ahead and start doing our side seams by attaching the front to the back at the side. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to the sewing table so I could go ahead and pin them together. Let's go to the sewing table. Good night, Alethea. Have a good night. Thank you so much for coming. All right, so now that we have the zipper completely done, like I said, like the biggest part of this project are the darts, like for real. All right, so the zipper is looking really good. Now, listen, shout out to Aisha, my other blue gang family, right? So y'all see that? Y'all see that zipper? Didn't I say this zipper, without it being on the garment, it was looking like, it may not go, right? But y'all see that? Y'all see that? That zipper is looking fabulous, okay? Look at that. Look at that. Telling you. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so now what we're gonna do, look at these instructions to see where we are, which I know where we are, but you know, for sake of doing this as a sew along live, we have done 1, 2, 3. We have done, well, 4. I just need to sew the side seams. So we are here at number 4. We're sewing the side seam. So with right sides together, I'm going to grab pattern piece number 1. And I'm going to place it on top of pattern piece number 2. Now, one thing I want to mention is make sure that you're looking at your darts, and then you will know it's right sides together. So you should have your zipper, the right side of your zipper, to the right side of your dress, okay? So right sides together. So the pattern piece number 1 is what's on top. You should be looking at your darts. Pattern piece number 2, the wrong side of your zipper should be down on the table. And the reason why I say that is because if you have a fabric like mine, you can easily sew wrong side to right side. So one thing I want to mention, I'm not doing this for this dress, but if you want pockets, now is the time for you to go ahead and place your pockets on the side, the front, and the back. If you want pockets, I would advise you to do so now before you sew on the side seams, okay? Now, for this one, for the sake of time, and because this is a slip dress, I don't want pockets on my slip dress. So we're not doing that, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pin right sides together, and I'm going to pin those notches that I have right here. I'm going to pin right there at the notch. I'm going to pin, making sure my dart for the front is pressed down. And then I'm just going to pin the length of my side seams on both sides. So I'm going to pin at the bottom and then pin all the way up. And then I don't think I said it, but for the seam allowance, like everything unless otherwise indicated, the only time you're not sewing at 5/8 of an inch seam allowance for this project are your straps. So once you get to the straps, you sew at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance instead of 5/8. But this one is 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. All right, so I pinned one side. I'm going to go ahead, turn it over, pin the other side. And the same thing, I'm going to pin the notch and then pin all the way down. And then go to the sewing machine and stitch it together. Have a good night, Angela. Thank you so much for coming. All right, so I'm gonna grab my other pins at the sewing machine because like your girl normally do, run out of pins when we pin in two sides together to cut down on time back and forth at the sewing machine. So like I said, this is how you sew fast, you know, pretty fast. Angela, I'll see you real soon on the next video. Whatever that may be, because you guys, I'm not gonna even lie, I don't have nothing planned for this week, but I'll change that by thinking of something to do for a video sometime this week. But your girl been busy all weekend, setting things up, learning new things, okay? So it'll be all right. All right, so now that I have it pinned on both sides using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, regular length stitch, make sure you switch your machine from a basting stitch to a regular length stitch, and then we're going to sew. Now, I like to sew from the bottom, the hem, all the way up, okay? But if you like to sew from the top down, by all means, do whatever way you want to do. So I'm going to sew both of the side seams, and then I'm going to go ahead and serge it. Now, when I go to serger, I'm going to mute the mic again to save your ears, and I don't want you to have to go to the, you know, ear doctor because of me and my serger, okay? So we're going to mute during that time, all right? So let's go ahead and go to the sewing machine so we could go ahead and sew this together, the side seam. All right, so we're going to sew from the bottom. But first, I'm going to switch from my invisible zipper foot. I'm going to put my regular zipper foot back on my machine. Don't forget to do that because I don't know how much you're going to be sewing if you're using your zipper foot to sew. I mean, I'm not saying that people won't try it, but I wouldn't try to sew an entire garment using just my invisible foot. All right, so we're going to sew all the way up using a regular length stitch. Have anyone ever sewed this pattern before or have made a slip dress? I know that Cicely's slip dress, I know a few of you have made that one. All right, I'm going to make sure that when I'm stitching towards the darts, my darts are pressed down and go slowly over those darts so they are stitched down. Now I have one side done. I'm going to do the other side now. And once again, I like to go from the bottom hem all the way up instead of the hem down. So that's what I'm going to be doing on mine. But if you like to go from the top down, by all means do so. Whatever suits your fancy. You know what you like, because you can have whatever you like. Did you guys see how Brittany, she kind of sneak peeked the new Vogues that are coming out? Did you guys catch that? So Joyce, the ones that she sneak peek, what are your thoughts on those? How did I know you was gonna say that? All right, so now that I have both side seams sewn, I'm going to go ahead and serge. I'm going to mute my mic so I'm not hurting your ears. All right, so let's go ahead and serge the side seams. All right, so now that I have the dress sewn together on the sides, now what I would advise you to do is press your seam allowance towards the back and then serge the bottom hem portion. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to stitch my hem in place right now. And the reason why is because I want to try my dress on with the straps before I even put, do my hem. Now, I believe, if I remember correctly, the hem is 1.5, but because I am kind of short, 5'6" to be exact, on a good day, I want to make sure that it's not going to be too short. So I will press my seams and serge it, but I'm not going to stitch the hem. So I'm going to press it, and then, of course, I'm going to mute my mic quickly to go ahead and serge, and then there's only one other place where I have to use my serger, and then we are good to go. We're home free after that, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and press and then stitch my hem in place. Now, I am a fan of using the seam rule to press. I know some people probably just do not use their seam rule, but it makes your garment lay better when you use it. But you know what you like. So do what you like and do what you feel is best for you. You don't have to do the same techniques that I do, But this is not a wearable muslin, so I'm going to put all the time. Since I'm dedicating a lot of time into this, I want to make sure that I do it to the best of my ability. All right, so I have one side pressed. I'm going to press the other side with my seam roll. I'm just going to turn it over, press the other side, and make sure that you are pressing your seam towards the back of your dress. All right. All right, so now that I have the seams pressed with the nice lovely seam roll, I'm gonna mute so I could go ahead and serge the bottom hem area, but once again, I'm not gonna sew the hem in place. All right, so now that I have my dress, I'm gonna turn it right side out. But now that I have the dress serged at the bottom, Deja, I feel you. Was it the Butterick patterns that you didn't see anything you like, or was it the Vogue patterns? But this is what the dress is looking like so far. So the next thing we're gonna do is start working on the facing pieces. So let's go to the sewing table so I can show you that part, all right? All right, so now I'm going to show you what we have, and then I'm going to grab the instructions to show you where we are as well. All right, so this is what we have so far. So a couple of things. If you decided to do pockets, your pocket should be right here. We're not doing all that jazz because this is a slip dress, not a actual dress that I need pockets for. All right. So a couple of things we need to do is the facing piece as well as the strap, and this dress is done. All right. So I'm just going to move this to the side real quick because we're going to be working on our facing pieces. And I'm going to grab the instructions real quick. And we just finished number 4. So right now we are all the way on number 8. So like I mentioned, we're going to start working on our facing. So what we're going to do is stitch the front and back pieces together at the side seams. Like, I'm not even reading this, but just to tell you guys what we're going to be doing is we're going to stitch the front and back facing together at the side seams. We're going to press up the hems on the lower edge, and then we're going to form a narrow hem. Now I'm not doing a narrow hem because I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to serge it at the bottom. And then, well, I might just go ahead and do it to kind of save some of my serger thread. So I'm just going to do the narrow hem for the sake of this tutorial. You guys know I'm just going to do the narrow hem like it says in the instructions. So I'm going to grab pattern piece number 3, which is the front facing. And then what I'm going to do is match up those side seams because that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to stitch the front to the back at the side seams. So after that's what it looks like, I'm going to turn it to the side and I'm going to pin at the notch. Pin the top, the bottom, make sure that your dart is pressed down, right? And pin. And then we're going to pin the top. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side as well. All right, so I'm going to turn it over, do the exact same thing. And then I'm going to make sure that that dart is pressed down and then pin at the top. All right, so using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, I'm going to go ahead and stitch this in place, okay? Back stitch at the beginning and at the end. And then really, to be honest with you, you just need to press it open. You do not have to finish off your seams. However, I'm going to finish off my seams because I like my inside to look just as good as my outside. All right, so I'm going to finish off my seam. I'm going to use the same serger thread because it's not that serious, right? And no one's going to see it but me. But yes, that's what we're going to be doing, and that's where we are. And then after that, I'm going to create a basting stitch and then go ahead and stitch up my hem. So just to recap, 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, regular length stitch, back stitch at the beginning and at the end. I'm going to finish off my seams and press my seam allowance to the back. This is the back, so press this to the back. After I do that, it's going to look like this. I'm going to take the bottom and create a basting stitch, 5/8 of an inch, press to that line and then press up to create a narrow hem. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. All right, so let's go to the sewing machine so I could go ahead and do that for you guys now. All right, so I'm going to be stitching using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, regular length stitch. And stitch all the way down to the bottom. Did anyone sew anything over the weekend? Or like, nah, it was just too cold for that. Because literally, I wanted to stay in the bed all weekend. I didn't really want to sew nothing outside of this dress. And to be honest, I literally started looking at coat patterns for the Sew What series. By the way, the voting closes on the 21st, which is today. I'm going to go in tomorrow morning, completely close the Google form so there's no voting. I could pretty much say that I already know what pattern is going to win because, I mean, it's winning by a huge, you know. Ugh. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to say. I'll announce which one won tomorrow and get the pattern ready to actually film a sew along for that pattern. But I could definitely, now I'm supposed to be pausing for the serger, but I'm sorry, I'm already here. So I already said that the serger is extremely loud. What did I do with the scissors? Hold on. But I forgot to mute for the sake of the serger, so I apologize. I'm going to mute this time now. All right, so we are good there. Ooh, new look 6718. Isn't that a dress, Melby? I think if I remember correctly for that pattern, it's like a lady in like a yellow dress. Is that right, Melby? She has like a yellow dress on a pattern. All right, so now that I have the side seam sewn, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press the seams towards the back. And then I'm going to create a basting stitch at the bottom, press to that seam, and then create a narrow hem. So let's go ahead and press now. So let me move the iron over a little bit. And then I'm going to press the other side as well. Now, literally, you guys, this dress is probably like a really 2.5 hour sew. So that's one thing that I do like about this pattern. Now, I'm going to create a basting stitch using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance all the way across that bottom hem. Make sure that your darts are pressed towards the center. So your darts for your back need to be pressed towards the back, not towards the front. Okay, so Mel B, I was right. I know you wondering like, girl, Rochelle, how in the heck can you remember? Listen, I look at patterns. Like I said before in my Butterick video that I did Friday, I literally look at Simplicity, McCall's New Look patterns like almost on a daily basis when I go to my pattern drawer to see what I want to sew. I'm looking at it all the time. Now, when it comes to Butterick, I do not look at Butterick patterns the way that I look at Simplicity, New Look, or McCall patterns. It's just, I like Butterick patterns, but they are not my go-to like Simplicity, McCall's, or New Look patterns. Vogue patterns, I have done a few. When I say a few Vogue patterns, like on one hand, a few. All right, but we're gonna change that because I have a couple of Vogue patterns that on my list to sew this year, because like I said, this is the year that I'm actually jumping outside of my comfort zone. So yeah. All right, so now that I have the hem basted and, you know, a basting line, I'm going to press to that line just like this, and then press it up again to create that narrow hem, and then I'm going to stitch the narrow hem in place. So that's where we are right now. So let me go ahead and do that, and then we're going to go to the sewing table. So I'm going to press up the hem all the way across. Now, if you do not want to make that narrow hem and you just prefer to serge, because I'm kind of like wanting to just serge, you can do that. I kind of just want to serge it in place, but to kind of save on some thread, I'm just going to create this narrow hem. And because for the sake of this, I want to show you guys the right way instead of just kind of like, I don't feel like doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving you guys what the pattern instruction is giving you guys. Okay. But normally I would actually just serge it. Okay. And call it a day. Me, I'm not a big fan of narrow hems and all of that stuff, but you know, to each his own. And I so appreciate you guys hanging out with me on Sunday. For sure, I know you guys could be anywhere, but you guys chose to hang out with me for a little bit of your time. So I am so appreciative for that, because you could have been doing anything. Now, one thing I will tell you is if you need to take a break, because I need to refill water. So I'm going to take you guys to a break right after I finish pressing this up and stitching it in place. Just a quick like 2-minute break, and then I will come back and finish. All right. So I am finished pressing this down. Almost, actually. All right, so I have that. And then I'm going to, now instead of using my seam roll, I'm just going to press that hem up one more time to secure that, where I have that stitching line. I just want to make sure that that's not showing. So I'm going to press it up a little bit more so that part's not showing. All the way across. And once again, if you do not have this Mimi G Oliso iron, I don't get paid to promote, none of that. I'm just telling you, it's good. So I would say definitely get it. If you do not have it, Klarna could be your best friend, but it can also be the devil. I know because I use Klarna. Klarna is my credit card, y'all. I am not lying. And I'm going to say that's how the rich people stay rich, because I'm pretty sure they don't use credit cards. They don't use their debit card. They use things like Klarna, get what they want, pay every 2 weeks, and you good to go. I mean, why not? That's how you keep money in your pocket. I'm just saying. So if you don't use Klarna, use it. Thank me later. You're welcome. All right, so now that I have that pressed up, I'm going to stitch the hem in place on the facing, the front and back facing. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to say that after stitching the narrow hem in place, I am stitching at about 3/8 of an inch seam allowance to secure that pressed edge all the way across. And I would definitely say go slow over the side seams. When you get to the side seams, make sure you are going kind of slow so it's not getting caught, because it can do that because it's starting to get thicker around that area. So just make sure you do that. So Mel B, to be honest with you, I normally do not do narrow hems, so I think I probably use my narrow hem foot once or twice, to be honest. Joyce, for real? So let me ask you this, Joyce. Do you prefer Vogue patterns? Or are you just kind of like, you picked up what you liked and just haven't sewed it yet? Because I'm going to be honest, like I pick up Vogue patterns because I like the silhouette. But anytime I sew something, it's always like a Simplicity or a McCall's pattern. I don't know why. So I know there's a Vogue pattern for a pair of pants. And I'm like, I definitely have to sew this Vogue pattern. Because my husband's like, why do you pick up Vogue and you don't sew it? I'm like, mind your business. So now that I have the narrow hem on my facing done, I'm going to press it and then go to the sewing table. We're going to take a 2-minute break. All right, so let me press this and then we're going to go to break for 2 minutes. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and press this into submission on that hem area. Get it all nice and flat to attach to the dress. So it's looking really good. Now, the reason why I use this fabric, now this pink fabric is just stash fabric from my stash. I mean, I did not use this. So this fabric right here, I actually picked up from Joann's doing the Barbie challenge back in May for the movie. I didn't get around to making the make that I wanted for the Barbie challenge, so I'm using it now. And I still got a lot of this fabric left too, so we are here. What you think? I'm cute, huh? All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take you guys to the table. We're gonna go on break for about 2 minutes and then I'll come back, finish the dress up and attach the strap, and then we are done for the night. All right, so roughly about 20 minutes and we should be done. All right, so let's go ahead and go to break now.
Drowning in the lost emotion, crying like some kind of ocean from my eyes. But I got up out of the hopeless. Yeah, I got over you last night. Wasn't it easy to believe I would be broken forever? Thought I would never see the light. You didn't need me, so I went looking for somebody better. Thought I'd be sadder, but I'm fine. Washing my tears away, I watch my heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. I finally learned how to let go. I don't even feel the echo of your touch. I've never been so in control. Only love I need is mine. But wasn't it easy to believe I would be broken forever? Thought I would never see the light. You didn't need me, so I went looking for somebody better. Thought I'd be sadder, but I'm fine. Washing my tears away, I watch my heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain.
All right, welcome back. I told you that 2-minute is like super quick. All right, so just to recap the last thing that we did, or I did, I should say. I finished up the facing. I went ahead and pressed it. This is what it's looking like on the wrong side. That's what it's looking like. So I'm gonna move the facing off to the side, grab the dress. Actually, you don't even need to grab the dress. I'm gonna show you the instructions where we are. We're on the straps. We are actually on number 9. Now I'm gonna sew my straps together, but I'm just going to pin it because I need to try it on before actually attaching it, okay? So what I'm gonna do, this is pretty much, you're in the home stretch. There's really nothing left after the straps. So like I mentioned just a few minutes ago, I literally made an adjustment to my straps to make them a little thicker, right? I did not want my straps to just kind of be that 1 inch and done, because if you want to wear a bra with it, your bra is going to be showing if you don't make it a little bit wider. So I decided to make my straps are 2 inches wide, okay? Because then I'm able to wear a bra if I choose to, okay? And you know, like if you're not part of the itty bitty titty committee, you may need a bra. So I'm not part of that committee, so I need a bra, okay? Now don't judge me that I use some scrap paper in order to do that, but I use what I got. I don't have time to be buying all these extra things, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to fold the straps. Now I'm gonna mark the wrong side of my fabric just with the little X, right? And what I'm gonna do is with right sides together, I'm going to pin across. Now, like I mentioned previously, for your straps, the seam allowance is 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. I'm gonna bring that back right here, 3/8 of an inch seam allowance instead of 5/8. If you sew 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, it's going to be super small. So make sure you are reading the, I would say pattern instructions, but also read your seam allowance on the pattern pieces as well, because you know, by the time we get to this part, we have put a lot of pieces together. We have also missed, you know, key points on the pattern pieces because we have been doing a lot this far, you know. So because we have been doing a lot this far, just make sure you are reading that it is 3/8 of an inch seam allowance instead of 5/8, to where you don't have to use that thing called the seam ripper and pick seams out. All right, so just pin all the way across. After you pin all the way across, we are using 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, and we're going to sew all the way across. We're gonna back stitch at the beginning and at the end, and then sew this across. Once we do that, we're gonna turn it right side out, okay? So go ahead and stitch both across using 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so we're going to be using 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. I'm going to back stitch at the beginning and of course back stitch at the end. All right, one thing I'm gonna say, make sure you're not sewing through air. So I am going to check my bobbin thread. It's looking good, so we're gonna continue. Because that's the worst thing. You get halfway, you get more than halfway through your project and then you're sewing through nothing but air, right? All right. So I'm sewing on the other strap together. Made it to the end. I'm going to back stitch, break my thread. Now you can trim it down. I am going to trim mine down using my fabric scissors, not your paper scissors. I'm going to trim it down just a little bit to alleviate any type of bulk. It's not much bulk when you're sewing at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, but that's just me, right? So I'm going to do that on both of these straps. All right, so now that I have both of the straps done, I'm gonna turn them right side out on the table and then I'm gonna press them. So let's go to the table. I'm gonna grab a safety pin and turn it right side out. So let's go ahead, go to the table, do that, and then I'll press them for you. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so now that I have the straps, I grabbed a safety pin. We're going to, now what I like to do is put the safety pin on one end. This is kind of like my easy way of turning things right side out without the hassle, right? So I put it the wrong way, but forgive me. So I'm just gonna stick that in there right here. And then I'm just gonna kind of do this and turn it right side out. So outside of this dress, I didn't sew anything else this weekend. Like I mentioned yesterday, bought a car. So that's been my whole weekend. Spending so many hours at the dealership. I spent over 4 hours at the dealership. So yeah. So between learning, Streamlab, and dealership, that was what I did yesterday. But I was so happy that I took the middle of the week to kind of cut the pattern, cut the fabric, get all my notions and everything ready for this live today. So I didn't have to do a lot of rushing or anything, which is always good to kind of prepare before you go live, prepare before you sew anything, to where you're not rushing to get things done or meet due dates and deadlines and goals and stuff like that. So we are here. All right, so I'm gonna turn this other one out. So you see how, like, when you use a safety pin, it's pretty much easier to kind of turn right side out with no fuss. I just find it that when I use a point turner, we have issues every time with a point turner. All right, so now that I have the straps done, I'm gonna give them a press, and then I'm just going to pin it to my dress because I have to try this dress on to know if it's going to fit or not. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna baste it in place and then adjust it, go to the bathroom and adjust it, okay? So let me go ahead and press these straps now. All right, so now that we have the straps pressed, now one thing I want to make sure is, you know, that with the straps, you want to make sure that you have them pressed pretty darn good, all right? So now we have used all 5 of our pieces. At this point, what I do after using the last one, I'm going to move my straps out of the way. What I normally do at this time to keep my area clean and free of clutter, right? At this point, what I do is I grab all my pattern pieces and I literally put them back in the pattern envelope so I know I'm not missing anything. So it was 5 pattern pieces, so I have 5 pattern pieces here. I'm going to fold it up. And because I still have my iron on, I'm gonna fold it up and then give it a press and stick it back in the pattern. Okay? So I'm just gonna do that real quick. Just hit it with the iron just a couple of times. That's it. It lays flat and I stick it back in there. move it out the way to where my daughter could put this back in the file cabinet, you know, when she can. I'm going to say when she can. That means AKA tomorrow. All right, so we are there. So I'm going to grab the instructions. And what I'm going to do now, hey, Carmen. What I'm going to do now is definitely stitch the front to the back. Now, on mine, you probably can't see the markings, but I'm going to try to show you guys this. So I see the little dot. So there's a dot there. This is the back. So I see 2 purple dots there. And then on the front, I know it's close to the black part of the fabric here and here. So what I'm going to do is turn it to the side, and there's a front and the back. So what I'm going to do is take the strap, right? And you want to make sure that you have the strap pin from dot to dot. So here's a dot, and I'm going to pin. Now on the instructions, you want to make sure the angles are turned the right way. So the angle should be kind of like facing. It's weird to kind of explain it to you, but it should be kind of facing like this. And then you want to pin. Now, at this point, if you want to use some wonder clips, you can. It's completely up to you. But I'm just going to pin there. And then I'm going to take the other portion, which you see a dot right there. Now, one thing I want to mention is when you do your straps, you want to make sure your clean side is what's pinned. You get what I'm saying? So I'm going to pin this way instead of the opposite direction, because when I show my clean side, you see how there's a line right here, right? So when it's folded back, then you see this good side, okay? So I'm just going to make sure that I pin there and there. I'm going to make sure that on the back, there's a dot right there. So I want to pin at that dot. So it's going to look like this, right? And then I'm going to pin there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So this is what your strap is looking like, okay? So I'm going to turn it to the other side, do the same thing. Once again, you want to look at the wrong side of your strap, okay? Make sure that it is even with that front. This is the front, so make sure it's even with that front. And make sure that your angle is turned the right way. The thing you want to do is work so hard on this dress, and then your angle, you have this angle on this side, and it's not going to fit, okay? Or look right. And then you're just going to pin the other one. There's the dot right there. You're going to pin the other one to the back, just like so. And then just know that when you turn your strap over, when you're looking at it, it's not all bunched up, tangled, and all that good stuff, all right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to baste my strap in place, and then I'm going to try my dress on to see if I need to take the strap up a little bit. There's no letting out, okay? So I would see if I need to take it up or not, but I'm just going to go ahead and go to the sewing machine and baste it in place. So let's go ahead and do that now. No, I'm all the way on the home stretch for sure. Like home stretch and everything. Now, the straps was 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. So I want to make sure you know that you're still going to be sewing at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, but you're going to switch from a regular length stitch to a basting stitch. So I'm going to go all the way up to a 5 on my sewing machine, and I'm just going to baste all 4 and switch it over to this side and baste. And then I'm going to do the other 2 straps and baste. Then what we're going to do is pause for a few minutes, about 3 minutes, just for me to try it on, see if I need to do any adjustments. And of course, you guys get to listen to some lovely music while I do that. And then I'm going to come back, home stretch would be to sew on the facing if everything fits correctly. I'm pretty sure that it's going to fit with no issues. I'm pretty sure, but you never know. Plus, it is a new look pattern, and like I mentioned before, I'm not part of the itty bitty titty committee, so I have to put on a bra, try it on, make sure. But we wearing a bra today just for the sake of this one, okay? So this is what it's looking like so far. Boom, boom, boom. It's looking so good, okay? So the only thing that's left to do after this is attach the facing. That's it. But I'm going to go and try this on, see if the straps need to be taken up a little bit or not. So I'm going to take you guys to a quick break so I can go ahead and do that. And then I'll come back and we'll continue the rest of this dress. All right.
Drowning in the lost emotion, crying like some kind of ocean from my eyes. But I got up out of the hopeless. Yeah, I got over you last night. Wasn't it easy to believe I would be broken forever? Thought I would never see the light. You didn't need me, so I went looking for somebody better. Thought I'd be sadder, but I'm fine. Washing my tears away, I watch my heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. I finally learned how to let go. I don't even feel the echo of your touch. I've never been so in control. Only love I need is mine. But wasn't it easy to believe I would be broken forever? Thought I would never see the light. You didn't need me, so I went looking for somebody better. Thought I'd be sadder, but I'm fine. Washing my tears away, I watch my heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain.
All right, you guys. I tried the dress on. I'm getting ready to show you guys that. All right, so let's talk about it. All right, so we are here. So it looks super good. It looks really, really good right now. But let me show you the front, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to fix it. So the front looks really, really good. But when you get to the back, it's like some gaping, right? Well, that's because the straps needs to be taken up. That's why I say I don't think it needed to be, but I forgot I did cut a size 45 in the bust because the bra that I would normally wear with this. Now, I do like the fact that the straps are wider, so I can wear the bra and not have a problem or an issue, right? So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fix the straps, because if I take it in, if you notice in the back, it would fit perfectly with no issues, right? The zipper is there, everything will be fine. So what I'm gonna do is pinch out how much I need to take up. I'm gonna measure it, and then I'm gonna try it back on after making that adjustment. So once I make that adjustment, it would look so much better from the back. So I definitely need to adjust these straps and then put on the facing. All right, so let me go ahead, take this off, and then I'm gonna make that adjustment. So I'm taking you to a quick break so I'm able to make those adjustments. Y'all ain't trying to see me naked, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and do that now, all right?
Drowning in the lost emotion, crying like some kind of ocean from my eyes. But I got up out of the hopeless. Yeah, I got over you last night. Wasn't it easy to believe I broken forever. Thought I would never see the light. You didn't need me, so I went looking for somebody better. Thought I'd be sadder, but I'm fine. Washing my tears away, I watch my heartbreak go down the drain. Hey, 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 my heartbreak go down the drain. Hey, 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 my heartbreak go down the drain. I finally learned how to let go. I don't even feel the echo of your touch. I've never been so in control. Only love I need is mine. But wasn't it easy to believe I would be broken forever? Thought I would never see the light. You didn't need me, so I went looking for somebody better. Thought I'd be sadder, but I'm fine. Washing my tears away, I watch my heartbreak go down the drain. Hey, 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 my heartbreak go down the drain. Hey, 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 my heartbreak go down the drain. Hey, 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 my heartbreak go down the drain. Hey, 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 my heartbreak go down the drain. Wasn't it easy to believe that I would miss you forever? Always be tethered to your love. Grass isn't greener on your side. You're wishing we were together, but I'm not.
All right, so what I think I'm going to be doing, I think I'm going to go ahead and do 2 inches off the back. I think that's where I'm going to start first. So I'm going to unpick this back one, the back, and do 2 inches, remove basically 2 inches from that back strap. I think the front is good. I'm just going to work with that back. The front, I think the front is good. Once I fix that back, that's what I think is what's going to fix this. So all I'm going to do is basically take my lines on the grids here, mark 2 inches right here, and then I'm going to basically place that line right at the tip, just like that, and then pin. Wrong side. You don't want to do what I just almost did. You want to pin it on this side where you have the dots. All right, so I'm going to base that in place. So let me go to the sewing machine and base that now for you. And I'm just basting the back ones in place again. Thank you so much, Kelly, for subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it. Hey, Dee, how are you today, ma'am? All right, so now that I took that, now I'm not gonna cut this off yet, but I'm gonna try it on again in the bathroom. I'm gonna put you guys on a quick break again, so you guys are not just looking at my table, right? Y'all can hear some music for a quick second. I'm gonna try it on and see if I need to take anything up again, all right? So this is where we always talk about, you know, fit issues, right? You have to make sure you are willing to go the extra mile for those fit adjustments. So don't cut this off. If you had to make adjustments, make sure it fits before you cut anything off, all right? So I'm gonna go to the bathroom, try it on again, and see if it fits, all right? So I'm taking you guys to a quick music break.
Drowning in the lost emotion, crying like some kind of ocean from my eyes, but I got up out of the hopeless. Yeah, I got over you last night. Wasn't it easy to believe I would be broken forever? Thought I would never see the light. You didn't need me, so I went looking for somebody better. Thought I'd be sadder, but I'm fine. Washing my tears away, I watch my heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. I finally learned how to let go. I don't even feel the echo of your touch. I've never been so in control. Only love I need is mine. But wasn't it easy to believe I would be broken forever? Thought I would never see the light. You didn't need me, so I went looking for somebody better. Thought I'd be sadder, but I'm fine. Washing my tears away, I watch my heartbreak go down the drain. 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 My heartbreak.
All right, so have it back on, and we are making major adjustments, y'all, because look at this. So I took 2 inches off the back straps, and this is what it's given, right? It's still some gaping going on right here. So what that tells me is, in order for this to lay flat like I want it, like this, I need to take some more off. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work with the front. Instead of removing 2 inches, I'm going to remove 2.5 inches, because this looks like about a good 2.5 inches that I need to remove. So that's what I'm gonna do to the front. Instead of working with the back again, I'm gonna work with the front, take off 2.5 inches. I'm gonna take you guys to some music once again while I do that, and then try it on again, all right? And that should fix all of the, you know, bigness that's going on in the back and in the front. And I think that is what will work for the straps. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take you guys to a music break, listen to some music, and then we're gonna come back and finish this up with the facing, because that's all that's left, all right? So let's go ahead and get into it.
Drowning in the lost emotion, crying like some kind of ocean from my eyes, but I got up out of the hopeless. Yeah, I got over you last night. Wasn't it easy to believe I would be broken forever? Thought I would never see the light. You didn't need me, so I went looking for somebody better. Thought I'd be sadder, but I'm fine. Washing my tears away, I watch my heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. I finally learned how to let go. I don't even feel the echo of your touch. I've never been so in control. Only love I need is mine. But wasn't it easy to believe I would be broken forever? Thought I would never see the light. You didn't need me, so I went looking for somebody better. Thought I'd be sadder, but I'm fine. Washing my tears away, I watch my heartbreak go down the drain. 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 Isn't it easy to believe that I would miss you forever? Always be tethered to your love. Grass isn't greener on your side. You're wishing we were together, but I'm not. Just watch. Go down the drain. Drowning in the lost emotion, crying like some kind of ocean from my eyes. But I got up out of the hopeless. Yeah, I got over you last night. Wasn't it easy to believe I would be broken forever? Thought I would never see the light. You didn't need me, so I went looking for somebody better. Thought I'd be sadder, but I'm fine. Washing my tears away, I watch my heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. I finally learned how to let go. I don't even feel the echo of your touch. I've never been so in control. Only love I need is mine. But wasn't it easy to believe I would be broken forever? Thought I would never see the light. You didn't need me, so I went looking.
All right, you guys. So I made the adjustment to the top, the front straps, okay? And what I did was I took in 2.5 inches instead of 2 inches. Now, this is what it's given, and this is what it's looking like. So the front looks pretty good, right? The back looks pretty good. However, I think if I take it in about 1 more inch to make it sit the way I want, like this, instead of all of that, look, that's not hot whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is take it in 1 more inch. I think I want to take it from the front instead of in the back. So I think what I'm going to do is take a 1/2 inch from the back, take another 1/2 inch from the front, and it should fit fine. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to keep it basted right now, and I'll work with it after putting on the facing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead, take this off, switch to my regular shirt because it's a low coat today, and I'm going to put on the facing. So let's go ahead and do that, and then I'll work with the straps right after, like leave a little opening so I can work with the strap and get that done and taken care of, and then try it on again. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to switch back over to my sweatshirt real quick, and we're going to finish it. All right. Because we're in when I say the home stretch for this. All right. So let me go ahead and switch over now, and then we'll get back into it. All right.
Drowning in the lost emotion, crying like some kind of ocean from my eyes. But I got up out of the hopeless. Yeah, I got over you last night. Wasn't it easy to believe I would be broken forever? Thought I would never see the light. You didn't need me, so I went looking for somebody better. Thought I'd be sadder, but I'm fine. Washing my tears away, I watch my heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. I finally learned how to let looking forever. Thought I would never see the light. You didn't need me, so I went looking for somebody better. Thought I'd be sadder, but I'm fine. Washing my tears away, I watch my heart break, go down the drain. My heart break, go down the drain.
All right, so back with shirt on, and I'm just going to pin that. That's the front. I'm going to pin now at, I think that's a total of, let's see, how many inches am I actually taking off? Let's start at 1. So I'm actually taking a good 4.5 inches off the front, and I took 2 inches off the back. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna pin that in place. See how that's gonna be the only adjustment that I'm going to make to the front. If I need to make any further adjustments, it will be to the back. I think with the front, I think at 4 inches, that should be good. 4.5 inches, I believe is what it was. So I'm gonna take that off and adjust the front. This is the front that I'm doing. And make sure I adjust the front. Again, adding 2.5 inches. So I'm just gonna adjust the front right there and then pin this back on like so. And once again, you do not want to cut anything off until you have a really good fit. And like I mentioned, this is like what you call major fitting issues, right? All right, so that's what it's looking like for the dress so far. The only thing that's left to do is the facing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the facing. I'm gonna show you guys how to do that, and then we are pretty much done. But I'm going to leave an opening right here to adjust. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn it to the back first. Well, I could have done it from the front. I'm gonna do it from the front. So this is the front. And then you're going to take your facing with the front, right sides together. And then you're going to pin your facing front to back, right? Now, one thing you want to do is make sure that your straps are out of the way, and you're just going to basically repin. Now, one thing I'm going to say is my repinning is not going to be a repin. What I'm going to do is pin all the way over here, making sure that your straps are out of the way. You do not want to like have your straps like right here. You want to make sure that you are pinning over your straps and you pin at that notch. Okay. Now I'm going to make sure that I repin my straps in place just like that on that line. Make sure that line is pinned. Now, you would normally have your facing right there, but I'm not going to pin my facing on yet because I'm going to try it on one last time before pinning it in place to make sure I have a good fit. But you would normally try it on, make sure you have a good fit, and then, you know, stitch it in place, all right? So I'm just going to put a pin right here all the way across. And then I'm going to pin the front all the way across. And one thing I want to mention is, I said it at the very beginning, make sure that you stay stitched the facing pieces as well. If you did not do so, make sure you do that to prevent any stretching. All right, so I pinned the front. You're going to basically do the same thing to the back, making sure you do not pin your straps on. So make sure you are matching up your side seams, front to back, pin. And you see how my straps is not in my way? You want to make sure that you do that. Then you want to make sure that you pin where your straps are, okay? But really, you're gonna have that. I'm just gonna basically pin that in place, just like that. I'm gonna make sure that my notches are matching up in the back. Pin in place. I'm gonna pin that in place just like that. And then basically you're just gonna make sure that you pin along that neck edge all the way across, okay? So I'm just gonna put pins all the way across, making sure that the straps are out of your way. Your notches are matching up as well. So I'm gonna pin at this notch right here. And one thing I wanna mention is you wanna make sure that don't have your zipper kind of like folded in right here. You want to make sure that you make sure that that zipper is out. And then you're gonna pin all the way to the end. And pin, all right? So now I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna just basically put pins where I need to have pins, making sure I do not catch in that area where I need to adjust the straps, okay? So I have one side done. I'm gonna do the other side. Sorry, I can't speed this portion up like I would normally do in a sew-along, but I'm working as fast and diligently as possible. But I wanna make sure that everything is good and neat and all of that good stuff. Y'all know how I am. All right, so I'm gonna pin the side seams once again, making sure it matches up. You wanna pin there. I want to pin right here as well. And then I'm going to adjust to make sure that strap is good. And making sure that my notches in the back are lined up. I'm gonna pin there, pin here. Get to the back portion, and then when we get to that back portion, once again, I'm going to adjust my straps. I'm gonna take this off. This is my back strap, so I think I'm going to, I only did 2 inches, so I think on this one, I want to probably go up, I'm gonna say 1.5. So I'm going to grab my little marking tool, my chalk, and I'm gonna go up another 1.5 inch, which is right there. And then I'm gonna pin it just like this. And then I'm gonna pin it there. All right, so we're gonna pin right here. Now, like I mentioned, the last try-on wasn't bad, but it is still loose, looser than what I want. And we ain't trying to have everything hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Even though this is a nice spring dress, and you could also layer this slip dress. I was gonna say slit dress. But you can layer this one, you know, you can wear it with a denim jacket, you can wear it with a cardigan, you can wear it with a sweater, you can wear it with a motor jacket, you can wear it with a duster. So that's one reason why I picked this dress, because I see that I'm gonna wear it very often in the springtime, okay? So now that I have it pinned, now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start in the center. Start in the center, using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. I'm gonna start in the center. So until I get to that first dot. Now, because my straps needs to be adjusted and I want to see those adjustments before I stitch it in place, I'm going to start in the center and I'm going to stop at this pin. Back stitch there. I'm going to leave all of this open, okay? I'm not going to even do that. Then I'm going to start like right over here where the notches, I'm going to start there, back stitch there, and then sew all the way to this dot right here in the back. Now, before I get to that dot, I'm gonna stop like at this pin to leave this portion open so I could adjust before completely stitching that close. And then I'm gonna start somewhere over here and then stitch, still using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, stitch all the way to the back and back stitch at the end. Then I'm going to flip it over and do the other side the same way. All right. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take you to the sewing machine and we're going to do that right now. Okay, so y'all telling me that I'm really talking and y'all can't hear me. I'm sorry about that. So what I said was that just know that you're going to definitely have some fitting that you will need to do if you are not in the itty bitty titty committee. Okay. So one thing I did, I cut a size 20 and the finished garment measurement says a 45. Now without a bra, I would normally sew a 43 bust. But because I know I'm going to wear a bra with this, which is why I made the straps bigger, I went with a 45. And did you guys not see that fitting when we did the first fitting? When I did the first fitting, it was just like hella big, okay? It just wasn't going to go for me. So what did I do? I made adjustments. Second adjustment was the taking in 2 inches off the back. Still big. Took 3 inches off the back. Still a little too big. Now, total adjustments that I have made thus far is making the front, taking off 4.5 inches at the front and then 3 inches off the back. That's 7 inches for the straps. So that would mean that the straps are off or the pattern sizing is off, is what that tells me. Tell me what your thoughts are. Can you guys hear me now? Hey, Anna Marie, or Annie Marie, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now, Risha, Mo, or Mary? Okay, good. I forgot to turn the mic back on after I did the try on. My bad, y'all. I appreciate y'all letting me know, though. Right? You guys know that was part of my plan this year is to lose weight, right? So I'm losing it all this year. So that's why those patterns just looking like, not looking right. All right, so I have one side pretty much almost done. I am making sure not to sew on the straps because I want to try it on again before completely sewing across those straps so I can be comfortable in this dress. All right, so this is the strap. So that's the only part. Let me show you a little closer. That's the only part that's not sewn, but everything else on this side is sewn together. I'm gonna just pin this strap across right here. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn to the other side. So this is the other strap right here, which is not sewn, by the way. Okay, it's just basted on. I'm gonna pin right there to know that I need to sew that and close it off. But now what I'm doing, I'm turning it over and I'm going to basically stitch the facing on. So one thing I don't like to do, I don't like to go from one side to the other when it's a curve. So I try to do like half and half. Do half of it, starting in the center, do one side and then flip it over and then do the other side. That's what I tend to do, but of course, if you like to do all the way across, by all means do so. All right. First strap, I'm passing up. And one thing I'm going to mention about these straps is you want to make sure that it's out of your way when you're stitching around the armholes and everything. Make sure the straps are out of your way. And the reason why I say that is because it's easy to stitch the straps onto that armhole if you are not checking. So that's another thing you want to do when you're doing a dress like this that have armholes and straps and stuff. You want to make sure that you are not stitching on the straps. Make sure that those straps are completely out of your way. And it just takes some maneuvering, to be honest. All right, so we are towards the second portion of that strap, which is the back strap. So I'm going to skip over that. And we go get the rest of this done, okay? So another thing you need to make sure is you are adjusting to make sure that everything fits the way that it needs to fit, making sure that the notches are lined up, because when you make adjustments, of course, you know, things will not line up. So you need to make sure that if you make an adjustment to the front, you need to make that same adjustment to the back. So that's why I didn't take all of it from the front. I also took from the back. So total, it's with, you know, 3.5 and 3.5. 3.5 in the front, 3.5 in the back. Which equals 7 inches total is what I took off of the straps. Because I'm losing all the water weight, right? All right, so I just need to sew one other spot before working on those straps again. The strap that's gonna kill me tonight, y'all. Have a good night, Joyce. Thank you so much for coming. And I hope you had a fabulous time chilling with me on a Sunday. Y'all, I gotta work tomorrow too, but I want to get this done so I won't have a whip, okay? But normally this is probably a 2-hour sew. All right, so this is what it's looking like. I'm gonna show you guys what it's looking like. Now I'm gonna pull it in for a quick second. All right, so this is basically what it's looking like. Now, I feel like these straps are super small, so I'm pretty sure that it's going to work this time. Now, before I secure this zipper in place, trim everything, understitch and all that good stuff, I'm gonna try this bad boy on one last time to make sure it fits, and then I'm gonna secure everything. Now, I'm gonna let this dress hang overnight and then come back tomorrow and hem it. I'm not going to hem this dress in right now because I want it to fall and lay really good. So I'm gonna try it on one last time, see what we're looking like, and then the only thing I need to do is go ahead and secure this back portion to the zipper, which I'm gonna show you that, and then trim everything off, understitch, and we're done, okay? So I'm gonna take you to a quick break, go refill some water if you need to, and I'll be back real quick. All right, so let's go ahead, get to that real quick.
Drowning in the lost emotion, crying like some kind of ocean from my eyes. But I got up out of the hopeless. Yeah, I got over you last night. Wasn't it easy to believe I would be broken forever? Thought I would never see the light. You didn't need me, so I went looking for somebody better. Thought I'd be sadder, but I'm fine. Washing my tears away, I watch my heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. I finally learned how to let go. I don't even feel the echo of your touch. I've never been so in control. Only love I need is mine. But wasn't it easy to believe I would be broken forever? Thought I would never see the light. You didn't need me, so I went looking for somebody better. Thought I'd be sadder, but I'm fine. Washing my tears away, I watch my heartbreak go down the drain. 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 It wasn't easy to believe that I would miss you forever. Always be tethered to your love. Grass isn't greener on your side. You're wishing we were together, but I'm not. Just watch.
All right, y'all, so I have the dress tried on. This is what it looks like in the back. And this is what it's looking like in the front, all right? Now, it actually fits really good. All right, so what I had to do, straps, I took a total of 7 inches off of the straps to make it fit really tight, snug, and good with the bra on, okay? So it looks really, really good. So the only thing I need to do is secure the facing to the zipper and then understitch, and we are all good, all right? So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna go ahead, pull this off, put on my shirt, and we are gonna finish this bad boy up for tonight and then let it hang for tomorrow. And then after work, I'll go ahead and stitch the hem in place. All right, so let's go ahead and do that now. So I'm gonna take you guys over to the, I'm gonna give you guys a quick 1 minute break to switch over into my shirt, and then we'll go ahead to the table, all right?
Drowning in the lost emotion, crying like some kind of ocean from my eyes. up out of the hopeless. Yeah, I got over you last night. Wasn't it easy to believe I would be broken forever? Thought I would never see the light. You didn't need me, so I went looking for somebody better. Thought I'd be sadder, but I'm fine. Washing my tears away, I watch my heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down the drain. My heartbreak go down.
All right, so I am back at the table now. Oh, thank you, Anne Marie. Not Anna Marie. I can't read, y'all. But thank you, Talisha. But this is where we are. Let me show you where we are now that the fit is on. Oh my God. I think this was pretty much the longest that it took in terms of straps. So I'm going to secure that down now, but I'm going to just basically, now that I know it fits good where that line is, I'm going to make sure that I have that where it needs to be. I'm going to finally pin it in place and do a regular stitch across that area. I can finally do that. And then all right, so I have that pin in place. Hey, Carol, thank you so much for subscribing. And I have the other one. That's the other strap. I'm going to pin that on as well. So I have that one pinned in place. All right. And now the back is already done because remember I told you that the only ones that I really needed to adjust was the front, but I just need to make sure that I pin those in place as well. So that's what I'm going to do. Make sure everything is pinned in place and secured. So I'm going to pin that just like that all the way around. And then I'm just going to pin the straps where it needs to go. That's basically what I'm going to do. So I'm going to stitch the straps in place on all four. So let me get this last strap in place right here. What y'all think about this contrast that I did with the pink? Y'all feeling it? Y'all like it? All right, so here's the last strap. I'm gonna pin in place. And I'm gonna go to the sewing machine and just basically stitch across all four real quick. Once I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and secure this part. Right now, I'm just gonna pin to where I secure this facing onto the zipper area, just like this. On both sides. Have a good night, Mary. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. And then I'm going to do the other side the exact same way. And then what I'm going to do, go to the sewing machine. I'm going to stitch this portion right here and the straps. Okay, so let's go to the sewing machine and do that now. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and stitch these straps in place where those dots are. Like I mentioned previously, if you do this, make sure with fitting adjustments, okay? These adjustments, I'm telling you. And then what I'm gonna do is the portion where I started, I wanna make sure that there's no, all seams are sewn, I should say. There's no stitches unstitched, I should say. So this is what it's looking like on that first strap right here. I'm gonna go ahead and secure the back and then finish up the other, well, I'm gonna finish up the other straps first and then secure the back zipper area. So I have one strap done. I'm gonna do the other straps. Get to that second strap. Woo! Make sure you don't pinch yourself with one of those pins because they hurt. I'm gonna do the second strap. Make sure I have it laying flat and stitch across there. And like I mentioned, make sure that the strap is not bunched up underneath. And then at that dot, I'm gonna stop and then pivot to join that dot to where I started before I actually adjusted the straps. That's what I meant to say. All right, the third strap, 2 straps down, 2 more to go. And I'm gonna stitch across the straps just like so. Back stitch at the beginning, at the end of the straps, and then I'm gonna pivot to close up that angle. Three straps down, one last one to go. Home stretch, my friends. I appreciate you guys so much for being here with me on this journey. It's a journey for sure. I'm gonna pivot so I could sew that other strap and attach. All right, so now that I have the straps on, I'm gonna go ahead and secure that zipper area in the back. This portion right here. So, and all you're gonna do is basically attach it as close to the zipper as possible. You can switch to your zipper foot, but I'm not, because I'm just lazy right now. I'm just joking. There's no need for me to do that, but you need to sew as close to the zipper as possible without sewing on the zipper. So all I'm gonna do is sew as close to the zipper without sewing on the zipper. Now, if you don't feel comfortable doing it with your regular zipper foot, you can do it with an invisible zipper foot, but I mean, you can do it with a regular zipper foot. So I'm just gonna do it with a regular zipper foot. All right, and this is what it's looking like. All right, so I'm gonna do the other one the same way. I could go ahead and turn off the serger simply because I no longer need it, so. All right, so here is the other side of that zipper, all right? So now what I'm gonna do is grab the zipper, not the zipper, the scissors, sorry. And I'm going to go to the cutting table and I'm going to trim off the top and prepare it for understitching. All right. So let's get to the sewing table so you can see that now. All right, so we are pretty much like in the last 2-3 minutes of this. So what you want to do, what you should be doing now, is definitely trimming your top to prepare it for understitching. Now, in the instructions, let me bring the instructions. I don't think it actually, no, it actually does say in step number 12, it does say to understitch as far as possible. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. Now, what I'm just gonna do is, what you wanna do is trim it down with your good fabric scissors. Please do not use those scissors that are completely for paper, but you're too lazy to grab the fabric scissors. So what are you doing? You are using paper scissors as fabric scissors, okay? Don't do that. Please don't do that. So we're gonna go ahead and trim all the way around. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna trim all the way around. All right. Now I would use my rotary cutter, but because it's not a lot, I'm just gonna use my scissors. And then I'm to the front, and I'm gonna do the same thing for the front. Trim all the way around. I'm just trimming off probably about a good 1/4 of an inch, I would say. Now, one thing I will mention, do not skip on understitching. Understitching is what makes your garment look even nicer than just sewing it, okay? So do not skip out on the understitching. If you think I'm lying, ask someone. All right, and then I'm just going to do the back. And then we are on the, hold on, wait. Rochelle grabbed the wrong scissors. Now I'm telling you guys not to use paper scissors as fabric scissors, and I almost did that. We can't have that going on. All right, so clean all of these straps off my table. Now what I'm gonna do, this is what it's looking like, right? Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna understitch. And I'm gonna understitch on the facing. This pink portion is the facing, so I'm gonna make sure that all of my seam allowance, this is what understitching means. Press your seam allowance. Now I'm gonna finger press because, listen, I'm just gonna finger press, okay? I'm gonna finger press, make sure that all of my seam allowance is pressed towards the facing, and I'm going to understitch as far as possible, okay? So that's what we're going to be doing at the sewing machine, and this is the last step, y'all, outside of hemming, all right? So let me take you guys to the sewing machine so I can go ahead and do that. All right, so I'm going to be starting as close to the back as possible, making sure that my seam allowance is pressed towards the, or I'm just going to say push towards the back, which is the pink facing, right? And I'm going to back stitch. Still using a regular length stitch, by the way. Back stitch and sew as far as possible. Basically, where you have your dots for your straps is where you're going to stop and pivot, okay? So I'm going to sew towards the dot, back stitch, pivot, break my thread, pivot. All right. And then making sure that the seam allowance is still pressed towards the facing. Start there. Once again, make sure you're not scared to maneuver your fabric to make sure that you are able to get to it. I'm going to back stitch and sew as far as possible to understitch. All right, so I'm getting once again close to that dot for the straps, and I'm going to be back stitching there because that's as far as I'm going to be able to go before I pivot again past the other dot for the back strap. There we go. I'm going to move up a little bit, still making sure that my seam allowance is towards the facing. All right. Y'all, I really want to wear this dress to work tomorrow with like a denim jacket. No, we're not doing that. Simply because it needs to get thrown in the washing machine before I wear it. Yes, I am that girl that got to throw it in the washing machine, get all those dots and markings out of it before your girl's going to rock it, okay? So I'm one of those that have to do that before I wear a garment that I made. So I won't be able to wear it tomorrow. I'm not washing it tonight because it still needs to be hemmed anyway. So we're not doing that. So I'll probably wear it sometime this week to work. We'll see. And in the meantime, get some photos in it when I wear it. So, but first we have to make sure that this cold weather is gone before I wear it, because we're not about that life of wearing something extremely like a dress in the cold weather. That I'm not gonna do. I mean, like, I'm not mad at y'all up there in the north, New York, Chicago. I'm not mad at y'all, but y'all gonna own that weather down here to Florida. And my post shoulder is like, man, go away. All right, so I am completely done. Hold on. I am completely done under stitching, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim the corners off the zipper area so it's laying nice and flat. I'm going to give it a good press as well. So let's go to the table so I can show you the next step that I'm going to do and show you the finished product outside of the hem. All right, so let's do that. Eddie Marie, nah, I ain't mad whatsoever. It's just cold, like for real, for real. So back in the days when I was like, I want to say like 10, I used to live in Wisconsin. It was short-lived. And when I say it's short-lived, it's too cold up there. Seriously. My dad was like, no, we got to find a way to get out of this place. And we did. I should say he did. So I've been in the South. Oh, you are so welcome, Mel. I should say Matt B. You are so welcome. First live, you guys, and you guys are loving it, and I so appreciate it, because normally, I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is normally out of the, this is out of my comfort zone. My husband said that I should do lives or whatnot, and listen, for the last year, I've been putting lives off, like literally sew-alongs was more of my jams and stuff, because I could be behind the scenes, don't have to do too much or whatever, but I said this is going to be the year of me kind of jumping outside of my comfort zone a little bit. So that's what we're doing. And I mean, I'm liking it so far. All right, so now that I have everything trimmed, your zipper area is looking good. I'm going to throw everything to the inside. Now, this is the part where you're going to need your point turner a little bit, not much, but I'm going to grab my point turner because I want my zipper area to be nice, polished, and all that good stuff, because I'm not going to work this hard to have something looking crooked and janky, okay? So I'm going to take my point turner, and right where that zipper area is, I'm going to just kind of like make sure I don't poke it too hard to where it's busting some holes. We're not about that life either. Annie Marie, yes. I mean, like, Florida is paradise, but I mean, when it comes time for those hurricanes, listen. My dad is one of those type of people. He's like, are you getting out of there? Are you getting out of there? I'm like, Dad, chill. I mean, it's not coming towards us. We good right now. Y'all know y'all waiting too late. And then, like with hurricanes, we have amp amount of time to get out, right? But people wait until the last minute if they go get out. But also with hurricanes, they switch paths and all that stuff. Who wants to get out a week ahead of time and then it switch path, and then you went stock up on everything and then it switched path and not coming towards you? So when he calls and bugging me about hurricanes, I'd be like, man, there's no way you want to tell your pops, like, like, I told you so. But at the same time, I'd be like, shut your mouth. I told you so. Okay, so this is what we are faced with right now. This is what it's looking like. I'm loving this, y'all. What y'all think? What y'all think? This is looking like so damn good. All right, so I'm going to press it. And I'm going to hang it on the dress form to give y'all a good look of what it's looking like. So let me press this right quick. So I'm going to put it on the sewing camera so y'all can see me press it. And then I'm going to pull out, well, it's already out, but I'm going to move it so you guys could see it on the dress form. Yes. All right. So here she is. She's finna make an appearance for a quick second. Woohoo! All right, so this is what it's looking like so far. So this is what it's looking like so far. She is looking really good. But one last thing I need to do, I need to press her. So I'm going to give her a really good press and put her on the dress form so y'all could really see it in its glory instead of on me. Now, I would try it on again, give you guys a good turnaround, but you guys are going to be seeing pictures of this when it's not cold, okay? Now, once again, I'm going to say this. If y'all ain't got this iron, y'all may want to get this iron because it's amazing. Okay, no, Mimi G is not paying me to do no promotion for her or nothing like that. Don't need to, because y'all know she's golden, okay? So, I'm just going to say, get the iron. If you do not have it, it is amazing. I can literally say I'm not trying it out anymore because I'm not trying it out. I've been using it for a good month. Now, Don't judge me, simply because it was in a box for every bit of about 6 months from South Florida Frocktail to now. It's been in a box, right? But I decided that my other one went out, which was a Black & Decker. So it was time for me to go ahead and take the Mimi G iron out. I didn't need to give it a trial run because I didn't heard so many reviews and good reviews on the iron. So I just figured I'm just gonna make this my main iron now. It came out the box, love the sleeve, the casing for it and all that good stuff. So yeah, this is what we use every day. Just the Mimi G's iron. All right, so she is done pressed. So I'm gonna put it on her. Now my daughter named her, yeah. And this is what we are getting. All right. And it is looking so good. Bam, bam, bam. Yes, love it. Okay, I'm loving it. All right, so this is what we're getting in the front. Here's the back. Now, of course, it's not on me, so, you know, you can't really see, but it's looking good. Now, I do have some straps. If I wanted to, I could actually do a tie belt, but I'm not because I feel like I could dress this up with a denim jacket and a belt. So I might think about doing that. I could see doing kind of like a black duster. Let's see what else I could see doing. A moto jacket. A moto jacket will look, a red moto jacket, that would be fire with that. I might actually do that. So yeah, but that's it. I'm gonna move her out the way so I could talk. But that's it for this live. I hope you enjoyed this live. I appreciate each and every one of you who came to the live, interacted with me and everything. But yeah, that's it. So you guys have a good night. I'm going to do more lives. I don't know when the next one. I will think of something to do on live again. Probably like on a Sunday because it seemed like that's the best time for me because, you know, I'm busy during the week as well. But yeah, until next time. Peace, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
They hate when you elevate. They stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate.